The Sociology of Knowledge, Understanding the Social Foundations of Thought. The sociology of knowledge is a field that explores the intricate relationship between human thought and the social contexts within which it arises. It seeks to understand how people develop ideas, beliefs, and knowledge systems, and how these are influenced by factors like culture, power, institutions, and history. Knowledge, often thought of as objective and universal, is shown by this discipline to be socially constructed and deeply shaped by the environments in which it is produced. By examining these dynamics, the sociology of knowledge sheds light on why societies view the world differently and how these perspectives shape interactions, institutions, and social change. The following 10 concepts provide a comprehensive understanding of the field with examples that illustrate their practical relevance. The social construction of reality explains that what we perceive as real is not inherent but created through collective human agreement and practices. This means that societal norms, institutions, and shared beliefs shape our understanding of the world. For instance, money holds no intrinsic value as an object. A $20 bill is simply paper, but it gains immense significance because society agrees on its worth and uses it as a medium of exchange. Similarly, the concept of time, divided into hours, minutes, and seconds, is a social construct that organizes human activities, even though time itself is a natural phenomenon. This idea demonstrates that much of what we take for granted as natural or fixed is the result of human interaction and consensus. Ideology refers to a set of ideas and beliefs that serve to justify and maintain specific social arrangements. These systems of thought often reflect the interests of powerful groups in society. For example, during the Industrial Revolution, the belief in individualism and hard work was promoted as a moral virtue. This ideology justified long working hours and poor living conditions for laborers while supporting the interests of factory owners. In modern times, the ideology of consumerism encourages people to constantly buy new products, portraying consumption as a source of happiness and personal fulfillment. These beliefs not only sustain existing power structures, but also shape how individuals understand their roles and aspirations within society. Knowledge is often intertwined with power, as those in authority influence what is recognized as legitimate knowledge. This relationship can be observed in various institutions, such as schools, courts, and the media, which shape public understanding and reinforce societal norms. For example, the classification of certain actions as criminal reflects not only societal values but also the priorities of those who create the laws. Similarly, the categorization of mental health conditions in medical systems reflects cultural attitudes and the power of medical professionals to define what is considered normal or deviant. This concept illustrates that knowledge is rarely neutral. It is often a tool for regulating and controlling society. Relativism challenges the idea that knowledge is universal and instead argues that it is shaped by cultural, historical, and social contexts. For instance, indigenous knowledge systems often emphasize harmony with nature and holistic approaches to health, while industrialized societies prioritize technology and pharmaceuticals. Another example can be seen in how different cultures approach leadership. In some societies, leadership is associated with individual decision-making, while others emphasize collective consensus. Situated knowledge emphasizes that all knowledge is shaped by the social position and experiences of the person producing it. Factors such as gender, race, class, and cultural background influence how individuals perceive and interpret the world. For example, city planners historically designed urban spaces with a focus on cars, often ignoring the needs of pedestrians, cyclists, or people with disabilities. When diverse perspectives were included, urban planning began to prioritize accessibility, safety, and sustainability. This concept underscores the importance of acknowledging different viewpoints to create more inclusive and equitable systems of knowledge and decision-making. Knowledge is not evenly spread across society. It is often concentrated in certain groups or institutions, depending on access to resources, education, and opportunities. Specialized knowledge, such as medical expertise, is typically held by healthcare professionals, while legal knowledge is concentrated among lawyers and judges. Digital technology has further widened this gap. For instance, rural communities may have limited access to high-speed internet and digital literacy, while urban areas enjoy greater access to information and opportunities. This uneven distribution of knowledge reinforces existing social inequalities and influences who has the power to make decisions in society. Habitus refers to the deeply ingrained habits, attitudes, and ways of thinking that individuals develop through their upbringing and social environment. These internalized dispositions reflect the social class and cultural context in which a person is raised. For example, a child from a wealthy family might grow up with confidence in navigating elite institutions, developing tastes for fine arts, and feeling comfortable in formal social settings. In contrast, a child from a working class background might prioritize practical skills and adopt attitudes that reflect economic constraints. Habitus helps explain how social structures are reproduced through individual behavior and decision making, often without conscious awareness. Cognitive sociology examines how social environments shape how people think, perceive, and interpret the world. This field focuses on collective thought patterns rather than individual cognition. For example, cultural norms influence how people interpret gestures and symbols. A nod of the head might mean agreement in one culture but could have a completely different meaning in another. Similarly, in societies with oral traditions, storytelling plays a central role in preserving history, while written societies rely more heavily on documentation. Cognitive sociology shows that the way we process and organize information is deeply influenced by the culture and community around us. Societies often divide knowledge into sacred and profane categories. Sacred knowledge is revered and often tied to spiritual or moral values, while profane knowledge relates to everyday practical matters. For example, religious texts such as the Quran or Bible are treated as sacred and serve as moral guides in many communities. In contrast, scientific knowledge is often viewed as practical and secular, shaping fields like medicine, technology, and industry. This division influences how societies prioritize certain forms of knowledge, shaping their cultural identities and decision-making processes. Epistemic communities are networks of experts who share a common understanding and work together to solve complex problems or influence policy decisions. For example, climate scientists from around the world collaborate through organizations such as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change to address global warming. Their shared expertise guides governments and industries in developing strategies to combat environmental challenges. Epistemic communities demonstrate how knowledge production and decision-making often rely on collective effort and shared frameworks of understanding. In conclusion, the sociology of knowledge highlights that what people accept as true or valid is not static or universal. It is shaped by culture, power, institutions, and historical contexts. These 10 concepts reveal how knowledge is constructed, distributed, and applied in society, emphasizing the importance of recognizing diverse perspectives. Understanding these dynamics allows us to better appreciate the complexities of human thought and the social forces that influence it, ultimately encouraging more inclusive and equitable ways of thinking and acting in the world. Stay tuned for more insights into business and the social sciences. If you found this overview helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on future topics you'd like us to cover. I'm Dr. Dag, wishing you a fantastic day ahead.